We are starting in few minutes. Good evening to one and all present here. I welcome you to today's exciting webinar where our founder Dr. Mohit Batra, Sunil Damania, CIO Mojo PMS will talk about MarketsMojo's journey and big initiatives for the future. Towards the end, we'll be having a Q&A session. So please post your queries there. Over to you, Mohit sir.
Thanks a lot. A very good evening to all of you. Thank you for joining me on the weekend. And, we've done the time at 6 o'clock because when we did this webinar a couple of days back, the questions got extended a lot. So we wanted to give some more time for the questions, and hence, we preponed this webinar from 7 o'clock today to 6 p.m. So that we can get enough time before your evening hits you. Today's webinar is a special one. We do recognize that over the last decade now, Markets Mojo is entering its 10th year of existence, and we've done lots of webinars with you, which is content driven. We've done a lot of webinars with you, which is subject matter driven, which is on stocks, which is on industries, which is on macroeconomics, which is on projections of where the markets can be, which is on model portfolios, on PMS, on Infinity. But rarely have we come out and spoken to you about how this journey of Markets Mojo has been. And today's agenda is to discuss that. I have tried to make this presentation very interesting, primarily because what we've learned over the last 9 years and entering into our 10th year this particular year carries a lot of life learnings, which is not just important to Markets Mojo and which is not just important to how we grew this company, but if you read into the essence of each and every chapter of Markets Mojo, which is the 10 chapters that we'll today talk about, you will realize that you can very easily correlate this to your personal life, to your professional life. These are common learnings. These are learnings that we've recognized, we've gone through. Some of these learnings may be very, very applicable to what you do in your personal life or in your professional life. And hence, don't just attend this webinar to hear what we've done, but try and see if there's anything that you can take into your personal growth, into your professional growth, because if some of the things that we failed at or we succeeded and how we succeeded can help you guide a personal journey of your own, that according to me would be a successful feature of this particular webinar. This has got a consolidated now almost 10 years of our learnings, which we've faced as professionals, as business owners, and even personally. And I thought that instead of just talking about Markets Mojo, let's kind of draw these successes out, draw these failures out, and draw these learnings out and share it with you, that how and what we learned out of these episodes that came in, and how we kept a very positive approach towards life when we were looking at these particular learnings. With that note, let me just start the presentation and then we'll open it up for Q&A. We are not going to talk about any advisory, but we still emphasize, we go through the disclaimer. We emphasize that all investors should use this information on the webinar merely as a source to enhance their own research and understanding. Nothing discussed on this webinar should be considered as investment advice. We strongly advise all participants to check with the experts before taking any investment decision. Investment in securities is subject to market risk. Past performance should not be construed as a guarantee for future returns. And investment in equity and equity-related securities involve a high degree of risk, and users should not place funds to invest unless they can afford to take that risk on their investments. And obviously, the most important one, which is past performance, is no indicator of future performance, at least in equity markets. Before we start, over the last 9 years, and specifically since 2018, when we started the whole subscription journey of our retail investors, we've got astounding support. Some of our investors I'm going to talk about have packages which exceed 40 years, 50 years as well with us. And most of these packages that you see that people have been bought during our anniversary time. And today is such a time. This is the year where Markets Mojo gets into the 10th year of its existence. And we decided that since 2018, since the time we started our anniversary offers, we would make this as the lowest of all years, to give them a loyalty bonus, if you may, for the 10th year that we are entering along with our investors. So we've never gone this low on our offers. This is one of the lowest that we are going to go, and obviously we've been doing this for the last 3-4 days now, and this offer will end soon. Now let me just quickly talk about this offer. I have, for the next 2 hours, added a bonus into the offer, that for every package bought during the next couple of hours through this webinar, you will get an extended 3 months free access to InfinHub, which is our international investing site, with every pack of Mojo 1 bought. This is only applicable for packages that are bought in the next couple of hours. So please make sure that you're not delaying this to tomorrow and trying and buying this, because this won't be available tomorrow. Now, what is this exciting offer that we've been talking about? Mojo 1 for just 24,999 for 1 year, but due to our anniversary of 9th year, you get 2 years additional free. So that means 24,999 becomes the price of 3 years. 1 year the base and 2 years additional free. Plus you get 3 months of InfinHub free. Let me take an example. If you buy this package 2 times, you get a package of 6 years instead of 2 years, and you get 6 months of InfinHub free. So that's how you need to look at it. Similarly, Mojo Professional gets 17,999 for 1 year plus 2 years free, but the 3 months of InfinHub free offer is not applicable to Mojo Professional. It is applicable to only Mojo One users. This is a limited time offer, and hence I would urge you to make sure that if you intend to purchase and extend your packages, this may be the best time, and to do it whilst this webinar is going on, or maybe immediately after this webinar, because we've kept this offer on for the next couple of hours only. You will find a link that will be posted on right now onto the webinar link that will come to you. Please make sure that you buy it from that link and not go to the website and look for that link. That link is not available on the website. It's only applicable on the screen that we are showing you, this particular link. Click on that link to buy these packages. You obviously can extend this multiple times in this offer period. So this is a question that we keep getting, that can you buy a package 2 times or 3 times? The answer is yes. As I said, if you buy it for 2 times, you get 6 years instead of 2 years, plus 6 months of InfinHub access free. So this is the best that could ever have been over the last 9 years of MarketsMojo's journey. Now let's deep dive into the journey. Let's make this interesting. I'm going to throw in a little bit of a learning, but a lot of humor as well. And then we will have a heart-to-heart chit-chat on the open Q&A that will proceed after this webinar is over. What we've seen is that only time change we didn't. When I say we, I'm talking about Joyson and me. I have a very, very interesting picture to show you, which is something that will, I hopefully bring smile to your faces. That we like to believe we didn't change. But I think looks like, if you look at this picture, you will know how drastically both of us changed. The picture on the left-hand side is when we were doing money control. The picture on the right-hand side is when we are doing MarketsMojo. This was the 2nd year of MarketsMojo, when we had been called to present at Finovate in London. And this picture was taken on our visit to the Centre Court of Wimbledon, when we had gone to have a visit to the Wimbledon. That's when we had taken this picture. But look at the difference. I think we were much more uglier looking, Sunil, before. So not that we're not ugly today, but we at least look a little better and younger.
Joyson with the mustache.
Yeah, Joyson with the mustache. Joyson's not single hair has become black. Although I have a full disclosure, I have never used any dye in my life.
So is the case with me.
Exactly. So we haven't used any dyes, but Joyson likes to keep it very, very black, if you may.
And Joyson had a very thick mustache.
Yeah, he had a very thick mustache as well. Okay. Chapter 1, which is dreaming big versus dreaming right. What we have seen in our experience is that any entrepreneur that comes with a very, very big dream of making it really big, right? Creating a disruption, creating an innovation, and making it truly big. I can tell you that somewhere in 98, 99, when I was doing money control, there was a .com boom, if you remember, right?
Yeah.
I used to go to these webinars where people used to write down their name of companies on a blank card and give it to me, as if they got an idea at that moment and they are going to take it big. So such was the frenzy of .coms when we were doing money control. During our professional journey, where I moved out of money control, I think 2004, and then Joyson continued till 2015. And I did various things, from wealth management to brokerage, to running a broker house, to running a portfolio management service, to running wealth business for a large multinational bank, to running a large portfolio management service. During all of these years, what we typically, personally speaking, learnings that I had was when I was running a fund house or a portfolio management service. We used to go to investors at every given point in time and try and convince them that this is the right time to invest, whether the markets are overheated, whether the markets are underheated. But I think, there was a sales approach driven, which is underlying the investment approach, where the internal targets always used to become more important than the client well-being and the time that they go in and invest. Money was the most important thing professionally wherever I've worked, and I personally felt that there's a lot of compromise on ethics that typically come when you run with very large organizations, because everybody is running on one single goal of generating a P&L revenue and creating profitability and everything around their lives, which is their salaries, their increments, their bonuses, are linked to only that one single objective. So one of the options for us was whether we need to dream big or dream right. I must tell you this. When we launched Markets Mojo, we only launched with two assumptions and two solutions in our head. One was that there was nobody who was covering research on all listed stocks, and the second was they were not doing it well. So nobody was covering the stocks, and B, people who are covering 100, 150 stocks also, rather than 4,000 stocks, their success rates were not that great, is what we had observed. We had done the research of 74 organizations in India, the largest ones to the smallest ones, and their research calls, and we figured that the research success rate was lesser than 50%, which is flip of a coin, and nobody was covering more than 100, 150 stocks. So this is the only thing that we had in our mind, that if our clients or if investors are losing money in a market, Indian market, which is typically giving a CAGR and a long-term CAGR of double digits, how is it possible that the investors end up losing money? The answer was right on the wall, but nobody was addressing that problem. That everybody was chasing certain set of companies. There was a lot of activity in smaller companies, but that was very disorganized, very tip-driven, very projection-driven, very I will tell a friend, and that kind of activity that was going on, disorganized space out there. So we wanted to organize the research and advisory space. That was the single initiative. Now, if you ask us, there was not one revenue model which was in our head, that how will we end up earning money doing this, right? Joyson and me were very clear right from beginning, is that we will put in our own monies into this business. We had also decided amount that we will go down with, and if that amount is over, we are over. If the business doesn't start generating revenue. But having said that, we had no idea of what revenue and how much revenue we'll be able to generate. Some of you may call us stupid. Some of you may call us purely driven by passion of creating something. I would say that we wanted to just perfect the product and the problem that we were trying to resolve. And we were optimistic that if we are doing things right, they will become big over a period of time. That takes us to the first learning that we had in our business in year one, that while you're dreaming right, dreaming big is already happening somewhere. Keep doing the right things, keep playing by your value systems, and if you stick on to that, and you stick on to the promise that you made yourself on day one, that why are you existent in that particular business, in particular job, in a particular role, bigger things cannot be chased, they just have a way of finding you if you're doing the right things. And this was one of the biggest learning that we even follow today from year one, that if you're doing the right thing, don't be scared, be honest, have the courage to go and tell the investors that this is what we're doing and this is why we are doing it. Some people may like you. We are not in a business of getting liked by anybody else. You're in a business of doing the right things. So don't get disturbed when people don't like you for certain things. Keep doing the right things and the bigger things will happen. Now, 2015, Markets Mojo starts more like a social initiative solely to make money for the retail investors. As I said, we had zero revenue model. Money Control at that time was running on one revenue model, which is putting advertisements on their site. We had decided on day one itself that we will not put any advertisements on the site. We will find a revenue model over a period of time which is much more rewarding to us rather than putting advertisements on our site. It's been 10 years now almost, and we've not had a single advertiser come ever on Markets Mojo. We do not entertain those queries as well. Whoever may come and want to advertise on Markets Mojo, there is not a single advertisement we've done on Markets Mojo till date. No business model was in foresight or in discussion. Singular focus on resolving the two key investor issues as I spoke about, which is coverage of all stocks and to have better call success rate for all stocks. We had a team of 6 like-minded individuals who started Markets Mojo: Joyson, Mohit, Sunil, Karan, Ansha and Ragish. You guys, I think, know very well in between Joyson, Mohit, Sunil and Karan. Ansha used to do our wireframing. She was a product person, and Ragish is with us today as head of technology. He runs the whole technology piece of Markets Mojo. Limited budgets, limited, yes, very focused on ambition. No revenue model is the theme with which we started. Some very interesting pictures. If you see, that's on the left hand side is the first dashboard that we had made. Our office was at BKC, Bandra Kurla complex, in a small business center where we had a 5-seater office. On the top you see Joy and me working down on an open cafeteria format, and that is on the bottom right that you see is the first office on the first day that we had gotten in. That was the total office space that we started with the small setup of 6 people that we had. 4 seats, 2 revolving seats, 6 people. That's how we started.
Yes, it was a business center.
That's right.
Like a WeWork kind of a stuff.
Yeah. Very interesting to show you some renditions of the initial set of logo. The top is a dolphin. We were initially, before the dots came in, we were quite bullish on the dolphin logo because dolphin apparently is the smartest sea animal that is there. We had a Markets Mojo growth logo, and then that is the first stock page that you see that we had gone live with, which is on Sun Pharma. If you see deeply, if you see, there is quality evaluation, expert sentiment, then something about industry, and then the results. So very similar to the things that were there, but hugely different in terms of how we looked at that point in time. Now, second year was one of the most challenging year for Markets Mojo. When we were going very decently on our journey, the journey was tough because we were not creating Money Control. We were not just creating stock pages, but we were in the process of creating 3 dots, which is quality, valuation and CFT. And there was immense amount of formulation discussions that were going on. There was immense amount of coding that was going on the site. And there was, we were, I think, around 4 or 5 months down in the whole coding process, where we were just about to start seeing some results of the back end of how our success rates can look like. And that's when something absolutely disastrous happened, which kind of threw us off by a year almost. By 1 year we got thrown off, and when you get thrown off at the start by 1 year, all your cost planning, all your budget planning typically goes for a toss. I've realized one thing, that when you are creating disruption, you should be also courageous to embrace disruption. A lot of youngsters today, I find them not following this particular virtue, that I'm here to disrupt the world around me, but I can't get disrupted mentally or emotionally or physically for that matter. So I'm not willing to put in 24 hours a day. I'm not willing to face up a challenge. I'm not willing to, go through emotional or mental turmoils, but I want the world to change around me. So our learning was that, if you're creating disruption, then you should be also embracing disruption, because it cannot happen that I want to create a storm and you want to be inside your house. If you are creating that storm, you have to be having the courage to be in the storm to create it while at the focal point, rather than, and if you're the creator of that storm, rather than be and sit on one side. What we learned is that when things go terribly wrong, you may be heading in the direction which is the right direction, and not many people have traveled in that direction. This is what we learned. So we used to always tell ourselves that kuch to bada ho raha hai. We are doing something big, that we are facing these problems. And those big problems suddenly became more and more validation of that we are taking a path which is a path that many people have not taken. Whether it is not getting the desired results that we were expecting the IP to give us, and whether it is a lot of people challenges that we were facing. You have to understand that we were not 26-year-old, right? We were, when we started the business, I was 40 years old. Joyson is, 5 years elder to me. He was 45 years old, right? Both of us were CEOs in our previous companies. So when you come at such a senior position and you start building something again, what we realized is that we were very loved leaders in our previous organizations, but suddenly when you are creating something your own, apart from your family and very close friends, nobody stands by your way. Right? All your professional well-wishers, all your professional, people who were reporting into you and who thought that you are great at what you do, they all disappear suddenly. One fine day, they all disappear. So when we'll talk to people, 1 downs, 2 downs, to join us, nobody even, people stop picking our phones. So there was a lot of eye-opener that we thought that people respected us, but primarily what it came out to be, people respected the chair we were sitting on, the position that we were holding at that point in time. It was not, so हमको कई बार लगता है हमसे दुनिया चल रही है, लेकिन आपसे नहीं चल रही है. We realized very soon, very early on, that हमसे नहीं चल रही थी, हमारा वो visiting card से चलती है, right? उस पर कोई दूसरे जना आ जाएगा तो उसकी चलेगी दुनिया. So it is a stupid notion that we feel that companies are succeeding because of us. You may be, but the day you change and somebody else comes, that guy is going to get the respect that you thought you were getting because you were great. That's a human circle of life, of professional life, that we noticed. As I said, one of the most tough years of Markets Mojo. Our whole tech team quit. After 4 or 5 months into coding, the whole tech team quits one day, and they don't come from next day. They stop coming from next day. We have no code with us, right? And the reason is that there was another player senior to us in the market who offered them 50% stake in their company, and all of them went and joined there. 50% stake. So we spoke with these guys because these people were known to us previously, and we said that, guys, if somebody is giving you a 50% stake, usko apne business pe bharosa hi nahi hai. How can somebody give a 50% stake in their business on day one itself to a team of 3-4 tech people? Right? 50%. The ESOPs are fine, the stakes are fine, but 50% is like a partnership stake, right? That means that the person doesn't value. And I told my tech people that you will see this in 6 months' time. You will see the result of this is in 6 months' time, right? But having said that, what happened then with us is that it was me, Joyson, Sunil, Karan and Ansha sitting, and we were sitting clueless. A very sad period in our lives that we were back to square one, and we spoke to people who can continue our coding work. It was, when you hire people, they will take 3, 4, 5 months, and obviously we were not the most attractive hirers at that point in time, despite being in the industry for such a long time. So we called in a friend of mine. He was running IT development firm for almost 10 odd years, and we gave him the project to continue the coding work. We were on a specific language, PHP, and he told us to migrate to .NET because he was a .NET guy. So the whole code was trashed, and a new site was being made in .NET. And we started from scratch one on .NET. When the site reached to a status where we could see it, the whole site collapsed because it couldn't take the user traffic of just about more than 40 people. And so we spent a lot of money on this development exercise, and we were left with nothing. Now, as it happens, within 6 months, the whole tech team returns back to Markets Mojo. They had their set of learnings. We could have taken a very egoistic call at that point in time, but we took a very human call and we said everybody does mistakes. The tech team came back and we started vigorously. We scrapped the whole .NET code once again, and we went back to PHP and again started building up the site. 4-dot logic was very tough one to crack. We kept relentlessly working, Sunil and me specifically, in terms of and Karan to brush up that logic so that we come out with a first version of product, which was a very good product. We met a lot of investors at that time. We had a little bit of a fear that we'll need more money than what we had put aside. Surprisingly, all the investors, not a single investor believed in the dream that we had. They basically said that, why don't you guys make another money control? Why are you guys building this? Nobody has been able to build this. This is not something which is easy to build. But we were said that, okay, fine, it's a failure. That is our failure on our own money. So we will still go ahead and finish our journey where we started. So we just stuck to the guns and we said that let's do it the hard way. There is this saying that there is a silence after the storm. And that, I can tell you that, I can vouch for you that in 2016 we saw that. This is the sad faces that you see when our tech team quit and when we were into the redevelopment process, when we moved from the whole PHP platform to .NET platform. Sorry. And this is the silence after the storm. In 2016, Markets Mojo, despite all these challenges, was able to go live on all 4 dots, on all stocks, on June 5th. Now, there is a very interesting story that I was getting very fed up. I'm a very high performer in terms of what I want to achieve. And when repeatedly these failures were coming in, I used to get a lot agitated. Joyson is much more cool-headed. He used to always say, "Kuch nahi hoga, don't worry, it'll come out." He was more like making sure that I'm standing by all the time while I'm creating the product. And he was running a parallel initiative that I had no clue about, right? So he was, when we were approaching 2016 and 5th of June, which happens to be my birthday, I remember me and my wife, we were at the Taj Kalina having dinner, the two of us, and I see Joyson walking in with the whole team, with the tech team and Ansha. And he said, "I've got a gift for you, but let's have dinner together first." So we started having dinner, and he gives me his phone, and he says, "Press the button here," right? If you see this particular day, he says, "Press the button," and when I press the button on 5th of June 2016, Markets Mojo went live. So that is the true sense of support and friendship that, obviously Joy and me have, and respect for each other. On that particular day, while cutting the cake, we had Markets Mojo go live, and hence June month is typically celebrated as our anniversary month. 5th of June is celebrated as our anniversary day. I'm very, very honored and overwhelmed that Markets Mojo and me share the same birth date, which is I think the biggest thing that happened on my birth date. I was not the biggest thing, right? Some of you who've not seen me very closely, you see a tattoo out there. I want to make full disclosure what that means. It is aut inveniam viam aut faciam, which is a Latin form that is my absolute belief that I shall either find a way or make one if I don't find that way. I have believed in this from the minute I had gained consciousness that there is always a way. You either find it, if you can't find it, then you make one. And that is what it means. Moving on, chapter 3. All in place, product is live. Now what we have to go and start delivering, various things within that particular product. What we again realized, a key learning here, is that whatever you focus on, it grows in size. आप किसी भी चीज को देखते रहेंगे, वो थोड़ा-थोड़ा बड़ा होते हुए दिखेगा आपको. It grows in size, right? And certainly when it grows in size, you will also see that you will have a blurred vision. थोड़ा वो, धुंधला हो जाता है, थोड़ा वो blurred हो जाता है. And that's when you have to rub your eyes and go back and focus on smaller parts. So it's very important, this particular thing, because when you're creating product after product and journeys after journey, suddenly you have to sometimes go back, look at the overall picture, and then go down into the deeper nuances of every product that you're creating, whether that product is working, not working, whether the experience of that product is right. So you focus and grow, and you have to focus deeply again on smaller parts to grow the smaller parts, because while you're growing the smaller parts, the bigger part always is growing. And this was a very key growth of 2017. We got our first set of enterprise research contracts with a lot of respect from some of the industry leading organizations like Kotak Securities. We were there on Bloomberg. We implemented our solution on Bombay Stock Exchange, National Stock Exchange, Motilal Oswal, Geojit, Axis Securities, and many more. And suddenly, we had the money to pay people, right? So we had a big revenue model that opened up. There's a very long story and I don't want to get into it, but we never even thought of an enterprise solution. One of the organizations called us and I presented what we're doing, and they told us that, why don't you give us this? And that's how the enterprise solution started. So, but we've never believed for a day that we've created the right IP. I must tell you this. This is a lot of times you keep asking us, अरे आपने ये change कर दिया, फिर वो change कर दिया. हम तो अगले पूरे 10 साल, 20 साल, 30 साल तक change करते रहेंगे. The reason we'll keep changing is that you may not understand, but this IP has to be made to happen. It is not that we've created something and it'll always work. You have to keep your eyes open, ears open, mind open, your mind for criticism open, your acceptance for non-performers open, so that you can keep modifying and keep correcting what is not working. It is not something that is corrected once and kept. It can misbehave. We have to accept the challenges of that. We have to accept what we've created, what animal we've created here, because on one side it is covering 4,000 companies, on the other side you want every call to work. Doesn't work in every market scenario, in every industry. So, right, so there is a certain level of precision where it works in a certain market segment, then it may not work, but then the recovery happens. So all of that is not going unnoticed. We are not taking IP for granted even for one day. We do not take it for granted even for 1 hour. In fact, that is one set of a conflict that me and Sunil always have. Right? Because whenever I look at IP on a Monday basis, every Monday basis at what, 9:30, Sunil? 9:30 time?
Yeah, it's a 10:30 India time.
10:30 India time. And I am the challenger, I am the biggest critic of the IP. I say, ये नहीं चल रहा, वो नहीं चल रहा, ये नहीं चल रहा, इसका नहीं चल रहा है. All of that things happen. And Sunil always tells me, sir, थोड़ा time दो. चलने तो दो उसको. So, and then my definition of time is that if I'm finding a potential problem, and I always tell him the only way to convince Sunil is that you can't shout at him and convince him. The only way to convince Sunil is that देखते तो है ना, नहीं करूँगा correct, देखते तो है ना. So then that's when he listens to me, अच्छा मैं दिखा देता हूँ आपको, and we then get into the minute points. But if I tell him that I'm changing every day, he will walk out of this office and he'll not see my face again. So I have to very nicely pester him that मैं तो सिर्फ देख रहा हूँ.
I know, kind
मैं
of
कुछ नहीं
now.
करूँगा. मैं कुछ नहीं करूँगा.
Now you reveal the secret, Mohit, in
And
this.
slowly and slowly and slowly, when Sunil starts seeing the problem and he understands the big picture, he says, "Okay, now we can do this and all." So, IP is a challenge. Convincing Sunil is also a challenge because he
A big challenge.
Yeah, big challenge. He comes with a very strong conviction that चलने दो थोड़ा इसको, इतना disturb मत करो. And that is also true because see, what happens is that if you're changing more frequently, then you don't know what is working and what is किसका result कहाँ था, नहीं आ रहा है, and all of that stuff, right? But I can't see underperformance. That is something that I must tell you, that I cannot see something if I figure out can be made better. That is what we move, and that is my job. We are a very great balancing team. Joyson will critique both of us. I will try and convince Sunil. Sunil will convince me backwards, and we have a, you know, आपने देखा bingo का ad, triangle. घुमा घुमा के bingo की तरह we keep seeing it, but we see it like day and night so that there is nothing that gets messed up. As I said, 2017 was back to a happy year. Markets Mojo starts making money and moves to a bigger office. Let me just show you. This office was at Lower Parel, A to Z complex at Lower Parel, where this could seat around 20 odd people. We took this office. We moved in. We had a photo shoot at my gardens in my residence at Lower Parel, and we actually made an individual cubicle for everybody where they could put up their own pictures. So everybody's families, we wanted to create a very family environment, so people came with their pictures of their wives, their kids, and we put all of those pictures around office of all the employees and their families. And you know, there was a lot of family interaction that used to happen in this office. People used to walk in. People were allowed to get in their spouses. They were allowed to get in their kids also if they feel like. And it was a very, very happy office, that, you know, environment that we created. Chapter 4, even social cause needs funding. So fourth year, we said that, boss, we have to also make sure that this cause that we're building now starts becoming a bigger cause. One thing that you will notice, and I can assure you that this is our biggest strength. Taking a bold step in Markets Mojo is the easiest. We are never scared. Why we are never scared? Because we don't have any shareholder sitting on our head who's given us any money to question us, right? We have for the one reason we have not raised money apart from having a very, very friendly investor, very small amount, but a very big supporter of Markets Mojo right from, you know, from day one. To guide us, to mentor us is surely because of the respect we have for that individual. But otherwise, we don't take money from anybody, and hence we are, you know, fearless for that matter. We'll go and do what is right. So being courageous in Markets Mojo is never difficult, and also because we were doing what we thought was right by the investors. So 2018, Markets Mojo recommendations we started seeing were moving the stock prices of some of the stocks, right? So when we gave a buy call, the stock was going 4-5% up. When we were giving a sell call, the stock was 4-5% down. So all sorts of things started happening on a very small traffic site. We were not money control. We still are not money control in terms of traffic, but we were a very strong, concentrated, serious investing platform where people were taking our calls very seriously. And sometimes those calls were being thrown in open investor forums, and it started moving the market. To stop that and to make sure that people take seriousness out of Markets Mojo, we went paid on subscription. So 2018, as I was telling you before, you know, when we were starting this webinar, against all free competition and everybody being free in the market, Markets Mojo goes paid. We took a very courageous step. We were just 3 years old in the journey. We went paid. When we went paid, we didn't even have a score on the stock. The score came in much later. So yes, we went paid only on the 4 dots. right? So only on the 4 dots without any recommendation on a stock, firm recommendation or a score on the stock, we went paid. We launched the personal portfolio optimization tool. That personal portfolio optimization tool was run on the dot logic, not on the score logic. And again, numerous IP changes to make it more retail rewarding and better for all market sentiments. The team grew. This is the same A to Z office. If you see, this is the 2018 team. Obviously, this has the tech team back. The tech team grew, but we were still a very, very strong, happy team of 15, 20 people out there. I must I must put a disclosure because there are certain investors who attended my previous one said that अरे हम भी थे इसमें आप हैं sir. You're absolutely there. The reason we put up this list is that this is the first 10 investors who signed up for the Mojo Professional Service. I'm happy to tell you that all these 10 investors are still a part of Markets Mojo. So it really overwhelms me when I take pride in talking about the investors who out of the blue, I think it's as entrepreneurial as we were, to trust somebody blindly and to trust them with their money and to be with that organization through the journey. So this is a 6-year subscription journey that we've had, and all of these people are still our investors. I want to thank you with closed hands for trusting us in this particular journey, and let me take each and everybody's name out here. Mr. Jay Thadani is the first investor that we have. Ramakant Bhatt, Amit Shah ji, Himanshu ji, Mr. Robin Alex, Mr. Jitendra Mishra, Mr. Mahesh, Mr. Chaturvedi ji, Mr. Sawant ji, Prashant Dada Sawant ji, Mr. Shrikant, Mr. Mitra ji, Mr. Billy Moria, Mr. Arvind Vishwanathan, Mr. J.P. Nair, Mr. Prashant Sarvade, Mr. Deepak, and Mr. Manoj ji. Thank you so much for trusting us. Thank you so much for being our flag bearers of the investing journey. And you guys gave us the confidence that we can do it. Although I can tell you, despite your confidence in the first year, Markets Mojo subscription business did not take off in the first year at all. Right? And we had again the same situation of facing a lot of challenges because again nobody was charging for research at that point in time, and we had to at least we had to see that as a challenge, or again that we are moving in a direction that nobody else has, and hence the disruption that we are causing in this space is something that is causing disruption to our professional life as well. Well, tough times, we realized, chapter 5, tough times can only do 2 things, which is, it can either destroy you or make you stronger, as we saw. And we thought that we will go and try and make ourselves stronger. So the subscription, subscription business fails. Typically, investors are not willing to pay. I remember Joyson said, then let's give them 85%, 90% discount. Let's see what happens. So we gave some packages we gave at 1,500. Trust me, not a single investor took it, right? At that time, we created the biggest disruption. In that challenge, we created the biggest disruption. We came out with the score on every stock, which was the mother of all logic change, and which really competition thought that we are going out of whack in terms of getting our neck out on every single stock recommendation, and we came out with the score. We stuck to our guns. We lost all our free traffic, but we remained paid. We saw some competition, some of the largest players in the market launching cheaper, way cheaper versions of Pro, and we that day decided that we are going to go right in front of the customer and explain them what we're doing, because sometimes we believe that maybe the site is a little overwhelming for them to understand. That's when we started the webinars, and we started coming in front of you in 2018 onwards, and we started doing 7 webinars a week sometimes 9 webinars a week, but every day Markets Mojo was in front of you. A lot of heavy lifting, I would say 70% of this heavy lifting was done by Sunil alone. When he came in front of the investors, I was there as well, doing some lifting, but I was more involved in the product side. But Sunil did a lot of heavy lifting right from 2018 onwards. Chapter 6, you must always realize that professionally or personally, your thinking gap is what matters. Whether you're thinking right or not, वो तो बाद में पता लगेगा. लेकिन if you're thinking ahead in time, that thinking gap क्या है आपका? What is that thinking gap? In Markets Mojo, we've always maintained a 2-year thinking gap ahead of what we are doing today. So I can tell you that if today I tell you that I'm talking to you about a certain thing, that certain thing was thought not now, 2 years back. I'm already talking about things that I will never tell you that are again 2 years ahead, because there is that 2-year thinking gap which is very comfortable to us, because by the time competition comes to know what you are doing, you are already 2 years ahead in terms of the development of the next initiative. So there should be at least a 2-year gap. It's my personal rule. You may want to follow or not follow, but there should be at least a 2-year gap in between what the external environment thinks you're thinking and what you're actually thinking. That's how we typically work. 2020, Markets Mojo becomes the largest research paid subscriber base in Indian markets. You see how fast the troubles become the accolades. launches the same intensity MF ratings and launches MF transactions. Trading 80s launch, Markets Mojo launches InfinHub, which is the Markets Mojo equivalent product of 21 global markets in 2020. At this point, I'm going to show you a list which according to me is the biggest asset that Markets Mojo has today. It is not Sunil Damania, it is not Mohit Batra, it is not Joyce and Thomas, it is not Markets Mojo's IP. The biggest asset of Markets Mojo is this. This belief, this loyalty that is there in our investor base, it completely acts as a driver of passion to create value for these investors. Investors have subscribed to Markets Mojo till 2092, 2087. Mr. Chandrasekhar, Mr. Harihar Subramaniam, Mr. Surajit. I mean, from 68 years more, 64 years, 58 years, 56 years. It is a huge, overwhelming response that we've got. And you know, when I did this webinar the first time 2-3 days back, I and Sunil discussed about this. And we are going to do something very special for our long-term members. Something, you know, that goes beyond what any organization can do. Because I want to reward this trust, where you have not just trusted in me, but you have trusted in the generations of Markets Mojo to come and support you and your generations, because I'm sure we'll be lucky if we are alive after 68 years, which I don't think so I will be.
Maybe
but आप अगर
maybe नहीं.
आप तो बहुत health cautious हो. And but we have to create that legacy. But I personally believe that I believe in the future, but I always say that what can we do today to believe in that future rather than just believing in that future. And we are going to come out with something very, very recently to make sure that we reward this membership. And I think this list goes on. There's on and on and on. These are, you know, thousands and thousands of members that we have. I've just taken randomly on the first, you know, 50 odd names. Mr. Lalit Khurana, Mr. Tushar Mehta, Mr. Thomas Philip, 36 years, 35 years. The list typically goes on. Truly thankful to you for all the support that you've given us, and you turned around this business for us in a year, in 2 years' time itself. Success and failures, very important to stay grounded. We believe that there are certain times that we start flying very high. We need to stay grounded, because I don't think so anything teaches you better than failure. success creates the biggest failures, and the biggest failures create the biggest successes. So if you don't take those failures personally and you take those as challenges, then those failures are typically used to create the biggest successes. That is the story which is the most important story when you look at your failures. So a lot of people get dejected by it. A lot of people say, okay, how do I improve the situation? If you take the failures as the road to the biggest successes, then you attack the failures with the same veracity and do and convert that into the success. And I'm going to tell you one very interesting thing that just about maybe another 5 minutes. 2021 InfinHub IP cracks. It is not doing well and makes us realize that we need to put some more years of work before we take it global. Trading 80, our trading initiative, which we had done against our fabric as an organization of fundamental investors, needs rework. It was doing okay, but it needed rework. MarketsMojo IP, meanwhile, flourishes and creates unique differentiators, and by virtue of which we launched Mojo Infinity, the first product, Mojo Soul, was launched. Despite the InfinHub IP not succeeding, we still went ahead and opened an office in Dubai International Financial Center with DIFC. And during all of this time, what we realized is market started, or PR started recognizing us very well, and we started covering we became some people of relevance of what we were doing with, and people started covering us well. Back to drawing board, chapter 8, 2022. You cannot take IP for granted. We started working, 22 was the year of IP. We worked so relentlessly on InfinHub, on MarketsMojo IP, differentiations, at the point of differentiation that we want to create. Portfolio level क्या कर सकते हैं? Portfolio level पे profit booking, loss booking, fall from high, stop buying, improving the selling process, all of those things. So 2022 was a in full dedicated IP year that we completely went inside the hood again to reinvent the engine, because we had been running an IP since 2016 and we had to एक बार जाके उसको to correct that completely. So it was, we do this on a daily basis, but the maximum changes that we had done was in the year 2022. And obviously media frenzy increased. We were back in the coverage zone of the media. A lot of accolades and appreciation of the work that, like you gave, media has given us, and we thank the media partners for this. Chapter 9, birth of a new business, which is now 2023. We launched portfolio management business. Portfolio management business we launched, and I must tell you that in the first month itself, we became the only portfolio management service house, only PMS house that was able to collect 500 crores in the first month of its launch. Our office became a godown of forms. We got overflooded with the response from our investors. It was difficult for us to onboard so many investors at the same time, and we took around 3-4 months to just onboard these investors. But during this, because PMS is a 50 lakh plus ticket size, we wanted to give back something to our loyal 50 lakh minus investors as well as the 50 lakh plus investors. We created and launched the most aggressive product, Mojo 1, in 2023, where the first time we looked ahead on IP, and we created amazing stories like turnaround stocks, momentum now, reliable performance. InfinHub, IP still not fallen in place. We get into the second year of revamp, and one of the toughest challenges I personally feel, as a business we've faced a lot of challenges, but if you ask me in my 10 years, what is the toughest challenge I've faced, that toughest challenge was creation of InfinHub IP. 21 global markets, different data providers from internationally, some data not coming, so many data fields, some market not working, some working, some sectors not working, some market caps not working. It was a nightmare, absolute nightmare that we had. Markets Mojo moves into a new office. As you see the celebration, the family sitting on the top left, our teams. We have now around 70 odd people who are occupying this office. We have already fallen short of the space. Shortly, we will be looking at a newer office out here. The story of last 9 years, we have now around 500,000 app installs, non-discretionary assets, which is your personal portfolios that we guide you on, is 5.7 billion USD in the range of 50,000 odd crores. AUM through model portfolio and PMS is closer to $420 million, closer to around 4,000 odd crores. That has been the success of you investors and the trust that you put in us. Now let's talk about what we are doing today as the last chapter. What do you do when you go against the wall? The answer is only one, and that is the answer that I think we've always kept our head on, is that we go and break it. We will break that wall sooner or later, whatever wall that comes in front of us. InfinHub IP is finally cracked. My biggest challenge, as I told you, over the last 10 years was to crack this IP. It has taken us 5 years. We have now gone live with the full version of InfinHub in 21 global markets, covering 92% of the globally listed stocks within the new IP. So a small 5-member team from 2015 has today gone global with coverage on 92% of globally listed stocks, with a proposition that has not been done right now by anybody else across the globe. That is what the ethos of Markets Mojo is. That is what the the hard work of this team has delivered, and that is what your trust has delivered to us. New model portfolios have gone live on InfinHub. InfinHub also launches its enterprise version. I will talk about this product in much detail next week onwards, because I want to do a proper detailed launch with you. But we have created something which is a retail Bloomberg for global markets as a very different product, and none of you guys have seen it as yet. This is not InfinHub, but this is InfinHub enterprise model, and I will show you this next week, and you'll be zapped and amazed in terms of what has been created. I can assure you that this is something that is a true disruptor that we are trying to create, and this will take us another 5-10 years to give that finesse out there. Most important, the upcoming initiatives, which is what you have been waiting for, listening to us. There are 5 most key initiatives that we are going to launch and go for in 2024. We are very strongly evaluating a global investing portfolios via PMS or model portfolio route, which basically means that can we create an opportunity that we can invest in not just India but other countries by directly buying those stocks under an investing umbrella sitting here in India. And that is something that we will look at very strongly, which is global investing portfolios. MF distribution business, we've created a platform where you can buy and sell your mutual fund schemes very easily now. You have the mutual fund revised ratings that have already gone live onto the site. We are coming out with the first opportunity out there for you to very seamlessly invest in mutual fund baskets, which is the top, like the model portfolio you have, like the top 2 or 3 schemes in a specific theme that you can buy through an SIP route, through lump sum route, but you will be able to not just put in money through SIP and lump sum, but also able to migrate your existing mutual fund portfolio, so we can tell you what to do with those. Very, very big feature launch this would be, which is the model portfolios, and we want to create the same kind of wealth that we are creating for investors on the stock market side, now on the mutual fund side. On popular demand, stock of the week. This may be the first product which may get launched in the next couple of weeks. I know that you guys have been asking about stock of the week, and we've been telling you that we'll do it soon. But stock of the week is something which I think in the next 2 to 3 weeks at maximum we'll launch with you, which is one stock a week that you need to look at. This stock of the week will be a pick of one stock across the whole Mojo One platform, which is Mojo stocks. Turnaround, momentum now, reliable performers. So all of these 4 lists, which is that one stock that you can pick up. And we may come out with a Mojo One model portfolio, which is something again that you guys have asked us. Most of the things that you see out here has been asked by you guys. That can we do this? So let me just summarize the 5 big initiatives. Global investing portfolios via PMS or model portfolio route. MF distribution now is possible through the website. You can start buying and selling mutual fund schemes through MarketsMojo. Mutual fund model portfolios with the new IP, the baskets of mutual funds that you can invest for retirement basis, for growth basis, for role-based investing, through SIP or through lump sum, stock of the week, and Mojo One portfolios. Our 5-year vision, 2024 to 2029, to be the biggest equity research house. The vision has gone from India to now in the world, and we are well enrolled, and I'm sure that we'll be able to achieve this without any doubt if we spend 5 years on creating this expansion that we have to be the largest PMS house in India. We're one of the fastest growing PMS houses in the country anyways today. So given another 5 years, there is a larger chance that we will be able to do this. C is very critical to be the first digital AMC and wealth management marketplace. We have aspirations. We've already openly spoken to you about that we will go into the digital AMC side very soon. But the approach will be a very, very differentiated one. One of the most exciting things that I'm looking forward to is this approach, because I know that we have something which is way, way bigger and we cannot launch it in the current platform because of the lack of license of the AMC. But we have something which is way bigger, which will be revealed soon once we have the asset management license. Some quick announcements before we get into Q&A. All paid subscribers of InfinHub, we have given 3 months extension to you. So I'm not talking about those investors, but all the paid investors of InfinHub. I truly apologize that we've had this delay in recreating the InfinHub IP. As a gesture of this apology, we have already extended your subscription by 1 year free. You would have got a mail. If not, that you can go and check on the website. Your extensions have already been done on the system, and it's a sincere apology that we've delayed this the modification of this IP, which took us a lot of time. And as a gesture of that, 1 year is added free. Quickly, to all paid subscribers of MarketsMojo, you can now get 3 months free access to InfinHub with every pack of Mojo One that you buy now. This is applicable for packages bought in the next couple of hours only. As I said when we started, the big 9-year biggest anniversary offer is here. It gives you 2 year free. Mojo One at 24,999 for 1 year plus 2 years free, which means it's a price of 3 years. 24,999, you get 3 years. You can extend multiple times. And for Mojo One, you get a 3 months of InfinHub free with every extension. So if you extend it 2 times, you will get 6 months free. 2 times buying this package means that you will have 6 years extension on Mojo One, and you will have 6 months of InfinHub free. Similarly, Mojo Professional, you get 2 years free on the 1 year pack, which is 17,999 for 3 years now, which is a 70% discount. Grab these. These are limited time offers, especially the InfinHub part. We are now very proud of the product. We will not be distributing it out free like this. So if you have any inclination of taking it, make sure that you buy it from the link that is mentioned here. Don't look for this offer. It is not available on the website. Don't look for this offer tomorrow. This will go away. So you need to subscribe now if you need to. With that note, let's move on to the Q&A.
So Mohit, can I ask a question before we ask from the audience?
Yes, sir.
Is there any point of time you thought that was ये नहीं हो पाएगा, let's leave it this?
No, never.
So you had that belief that कुछ भी हो जाए?
Never.
That's a good
I'll
thing.
tell you that we had one of the industry veteran who came to meet me in the A to Z office.
Okay.
And he told me 20 reasons why I should not do this.
20 reasons he told
20.
you not to do it.
Yeah, 20 reasons.
Okay.
And he was running a similar business.
Okay.
So he gave me 20 reasons, I noted down. Remember that boardroom we had at the A to Z?
Yeah.
I noted everything down. And when I was escorting him out, he said, so what have you decided? I said that I thank you for your experience because you told me 20 reasons what I should not do.
Yeah.
So at least that 20 reasons are out of my list now. Now I will do 21st, but I will make it happen.
Okay.
So
That's a good.
yeah, because you have the passion, you believe in something. If you believe in something and you're doing the right thing, it's a matter of time.
It's a matter of time. That's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
No, because as you rightly said, the age was not on your side. You know, when
Right.
you started at 40, and then the complete tech team leaving, and
Yeah.
you know, people giving not very positive feedback.
Yeah.
Sometimes the self-doubt comes in. You know that am I on the right track? Should I continue? Should I not continue? That's the reason I asked.
Never, it never came. Should I not continue? It never came. It was a question of how fast the growth can be, whether the growth can be as fast as I was expecting, because I am a very aggressive growth player.
Yeah.
You know.
So I know that. You don't explain me that.
Yeah. So I may have compromised on my growth targets for some time, but never on the vision and never had doubt on that.
Okay.
Rajiv Kumar. Hello, sir. Thank you for your time. Do you mind sharing the plans of Markets Mojo for the coming decade years? I joined Markets Mojo last month and liked the service, especially the people running it. I want to stick with you guys for a longer time. I'm keen to know the focus areas of Markets Mojo for coming years.
I think, Mr. Rajiv Kumar, thank you for joining the Markets Mojo family. We are a hugely client-side innovating firm where our singular belief is how do we make money for our investors. So one thing which happens and which will keep happening is our improvements that we keep on our stock picking abilities, portfolio abilities, model portfolio abilities, and these are the regular things that will keep happening. Our 10-year visioning is to come out, as I said, to have the Indian investors a taste of global investing. I personally believe that if there is a story brewing up in Kazakhstan, we need to buy that. This whole world is one unified fundamental investing opportunity, and that's how we see it. So we will look at global investing very closely over the next 5 to 10 years. We will look at getting the participation to the retail side, because see, mostly these global stories can be played up with either the PMS license or the AMC license, and that is one of the reasons that I kept talking about the AMC license, that we have to give retail the opportunity to invest across the globe, not just the HNIs, and we will build up on those opportunities. We have a very unique positioning with InfinHub. A lot of people may not realize that, but with InfinHub, our total number of listed stocks that we today evaluate is no longer 4,000. For us, mentally now, it is 48,000, right? Because we are now covering 7,000 stocks in the US, Canada, 3,000 stocks, Mexico, and so on and so forth. So why can't we have the opportunity to invest in those companies which are the best around the world rather than just look at India? And then, there are geographical asset allocations, there are emerging markets allocations. There's a lot to be done in terms of reaching there. But best in class investing approach for Indian investors, world-class investing approach for investing in the world stocks is what our true vision would be, at a higher success rate and at a investor rewarding platform.
Next question we have from Ravi Kumar. I've recently joined Markets Mojo 1 with subscription till 2027. I've just sold a property and have some surplus cash to invest in equities. I'm a bit wary to enter now as market seems to be at all-time high and valuations are also quite high. Are your current Mojo stocks and other 3 strategy recommendations meant for existing investors to switch from other stocks, or can new investors enter these recommendations with new cash?
Sunil, you want to take this?
So I'll take this actually. So you sold a property just now, and I think you got I believe that you must have got a little larger sum of money with you. Now you have two options. Definitely you can use Markets Mojo and other Mojo stock and other three strategy to deploy the funds and use that to do that. Other option could be that you can come to our PMS. Basically, the beauty with the PMS is that your human emotions have been taken care. Like the question that you ask, is the market is bit little right time to or not, and that question will keep coming every now and then. Sometimes you may get tempted by the market value. Sometimes you'll get tempted by the story which is being stored around, and you may get little fearful also, and you might do something wrong that you should not be doing it. So once you give it to the professional fund manager, that emotions has been taken care of. Why? Because that now someone else is managing money, and he or she knows very well what needs to be done to create the wealth. So my advice would be, if you've sold the property and if you wish to come to the equity market, don't try to time the market. No one has been able to do it. Warren Buffett has not been able to do it. Rakesh Junjunwala has not been able to do it. And beauty is this now in our PMS, and of course if you wish to do with Mojo 1 also, you can do that. What we are doing in PMS is that we have introduced a triple A strategy right now, purely because we do expect market to be a little volatile in the interim for next couple of months. So what we are doing, instead of investing everything at one go, the new money coming in, we are investing between 0 to 120 days. That's from today in next 4 months, and we will prepone or postpone that investment strategy based on the market condition. And that exactly I would suggest you to do also if you go through the Mojo 1 strategy. But having said that, do not try to time the market, because sometimes I know some investors somewhere in the month of October in our PMS wanted to time the market, and he said, boss, मैं बाद में आता हूँ, because and that time there was a hawa that BJP will lose badly in the assembly election, and if that is so, even the general election market will go down. He quit. Okay, he did not join. So he completed the formality to join the PMS, did not. And then today he's regretting that why he did that, because in just for 4 or 5 months the market, while the expectation it will go down, it did go down, but then it bounced back equally fast, and that's what you miss out then. So my request would be, you're a little wary to enter, please don't be. Please go ahead. Yes, we do understand the market valuations are at all-time high. And there's one more data which I'll present maybe next Friday about this, the future trend. If you look at every election time, and then you fast forward the next election time, market has always been at the higher level than what the previous election has been. So yes, sometimes we do get little carried away by the noise which is there, and we also believe that yes, valuations are reached at this point. Right? That's not. It's all about how much patience. And I know, like I know a lot of you people have been asking us to do power of compounding webinar, and I've made it a point that I will do it. Now, one of the key factors in the power of compounding is not R. It is N. If you look at the formula of power compounding, it's not the rate of interest, but number of years you put into that assets class to give that kind of the power of compounding to work for you. So we do believe, yes, markets valuations are high, but if you don't need this money for next 3 to 5 years, please go ahead and invest. And our Mojo and other strategies are meant for existing investors to switch from other stocks. Yes, we do have a portfolio optimizer that can help you, and you can go that. But my sincere suggestion would be, because we are all human beings, and we do run a human bias. You may end up doing, even though we advise you to do that, sometimes people don't act that. And we have seen that in our Infinity service also, because ये script तो नहीं चलने वाला है, they will get out too early, or sometimes they believe that this script will continue to do well. I'll give classical example that happened with us. In 2022, our IP suggested to get out of Asian Paints. We sent an advice to the investors, please get out of Asian Paints, please lock in the profits. This investor came back to our office, I think 15 days back from Kerala, and he said, you did advise us to get out of Asian Paints. I thought this company will continue to do very well. I'm still holding it. Now tell me, what am I supposed to do? So we may advise you. So that's why you need to understand how strong you are in terms of controlling your emotions. If you are not able to control your emotions, you may continue to hold stock despite we advising you to exit, and then it will result into underperformance. So you have both the options, Mojo 1 and the PMS. My personal choice would be PMS. And of course, having said that, I do run a personal bias because I done the PMS. So that's the thing. But both products are equally good depending upon how strong in your able to control your emotions. And this emotions happens with me also. It's not that it doesn't happen with me. Sometimes I also do run my own bias, and sometimes I continue to hold the stock despite knowing very well that this company is not going to do well. And I'll give you one classical example of mine, which I've said many times in the webinar. There was one company called Suraj Diamonds. Okay,
Yeah.
I invested in that company, and I know Jatin Mehta very well. Okay, the owner of that company. And then the news came that there is some financial irregularity in that company. Now, logically, I should have got out of that company because I knew that there is a financial irregularity. Even as on today, that Suraj Diamond is in my portfolio. And the worst thing is that script is not traded. It's suspended. And there is an investigation happening. Mr. Mehta is absconding somewhere outside the country. And that's what happened. So sometimes we know what's there, but yet we are not able to act purely because of our human emotions. So that's what my take is.
Next question is from Vishal. Mohit sir, you always said that we should always be a long-term investor. So I followed you and Markets Mojo recommendation. I find the Mojo stocks are really good, but time frame for these stocks are very short term. So most of the time we do trading in that stocks. So I'm suggesting you make super Mojo stocks which we hold for 2-3 years for investment purpose. That stock should be fundamentally strong.
So, Vishal, thank you for your feedback. The average life of a Mojo stock, I keep doing this analysis because I also get wary if some stocks come in and go out in 15 days, 20 days. But the average life of Mojo stocks is closer to 6 months, the last time I recollect.
Yeah, I'll just get you the latest
We'll
data.
get you the latest numbers right away. But it is 6 months, so it is not, and there are a lot of stocks today, if you see in the list, which are even 1 year old and 1.5 years old and all that. Now, the thing that happens is that buy and hold strategy, which is there are some stocks which have been there for over a year and a half as well. But typically, stocks, the world is becoming so dynamic that for us to look at stocks for a 2-year, 3-year basis and continue to hold may not stand true because things are changing very fast, sectors are changing very fast, sector rotation is happening, results may not turn out to be good. So looking at all of that, we personally believe that we will play a stock till the time we feel that there is fundamental momentum in that. Fundamental strength is displayed not just in the long-term parameters but also in the shorter-run parameters, and that is the biggest success that we've had so far. I have the data in front of me. Mojo stocks, the average duration of a call is 124 days,
which is near about 4 months.
which is around 4 months. Hidden turnarounds, the average duration is 247 days. Momentum now stocks is 137 days, and reliable performers is close to 185 days, which is 6 months. So 4 months to 6 months and sometimes even 8 months is the average holding period of stock. So, let's not get disturbed by some stocks which go in and out. That kind of a situation happens when there is a stock that gets picked up, say today, and in 1 month's time. Now, I can't wait that uska result is coming after 1 month, right? So we get into that stock, and after a month, the results are not that favorable. And that's when we decide to remove them. They may still be a buy, but they may get removed from the Mojo 1 list. So sometimes, Mojo 1 is a list. You don't need to essentially get out of a stock if it gets out of Mojo 1, of Mojo stocks. This is something, a very, very key difference, which is a very unique difference that a lot of investors don't understand. They consider Mojo stock se bahar nikla, so we have to sell that stock. You don't need to sell that stock. So there may be a situation, there is a strong buy, for example. It becomes a buy for whatever reasons. So it comes one grade down. Mojo 1 is a list of top 1% stocks. So उसमें से वो बाहर आ गया, लेकिन it's still a buy. You have to still keep holding it. You don't need to sell it, right? It is just gone out of the top 1% list. So I'll give you an example. Let's assume the top 1% list is say 50 stocks. This stock becomes 51. Now you will say, "To Mojo stock se bahar nikal gaya," right? But it is 51. It is still 51. So, and it's still a buy. So you don't need to. So as soon as your stock goes out of Mojo 1, you start looking at the score of the stock. And don't sell it till it becomes a hold or a lower hold or a sell. You keep holding it, because that is going to give you, you know, the length in the stock as well as the return in the stock. Because the Mojo 1 and hidden turnaround and reliable performance is a list of stocks, a list of top stocks. Top stocks में से अगर वो stock one notch नीचे आ जाता है तो it's not a bad stock. I will immediately look at that stock. So if I am holding a Mojo stock and it becomes not a part of Mojo list, it comes out of a Mojo list, then I'll start looking at the score. If it is still a buy, I'll still keep holding it. So please understand this key difference, because this is very important, Vishal.
So just to harp on this, if you look at there are many stocks that if you have a model portfolio, Vishal, you would have seen that we do own Hindustan Aeronautics in the model portfolio, up by almost 650%, came in 2021. We continue to hold in the model portfolio. Varun Beverages, which we recommended in October 2021, we have not closed the call. If you are holding in your model portfolio, or if you follow stock of the month, it's up by 400%. We have not exited that stock. So yes, there are certain stocks, as Mohit rightly say, if we know that is stock, like I gave an example before this, Asian Paints, fundamentally strong company, nothing wrong with that company. But if the company is not going to perform, if you look at last 2 years, Asian Paints have struggled to outperform despite overall market is all-time high. So we sometimes do get carried away by the recency bias. Some stock which has done extremely well, let me get into that stock, and that company should do well. Now that's a disaster for underperformance. It's a recipe for underperformance. So you are right. In fact, it's a good suggestion that we should come with the super Mojo stocks, and we will take your suggestion very seriously. We'll definitely discuss. We'll throw this challenge to our IP team also and say, how can we come out with a product which is more longer term buy and hold without compromising on the return. See, one of the basic beauty about Markets Mojo or Mojo Pay is that we focus on the returns. Okay, we don't bother too much about the churn in the portfolio, because ultimately what matters is that paisa ban raha hai ki nahi ban raha hai, and that's what we want to know. I don't want to name one of the leading PMS house, buy and hold strategy, investing in a good quality company, and we all know what happens to that PMS performance. It has been struggling to outperform. There is one other leading personality which basically said that we invest in the good quality company, and I was just listening to the new CEO of that AMC. He said, now we don't believe in that philosophy. We have junked that. Now if we believe this company is going to underperform, we'll get out that company come what may. So I think the business cycles are changing very fast. What used to be, if you happen to listen to the founder of Sony, SONY, he used to manufacture Walkman, and they said the one Walkman would basically, they would not change the model of Walkman for many years, maybe for 10 years. And today every year you see that things are changing. Like for example, iPhone, every year you will keep changing the new iPhone. So I think that things are very changing, and what looks very promising today may not look very promising tomorrow because of change. The pace of change is happening very, very fast. And that's why we don't believe, but it's a good suggestion, Vishalji, and we will definitely try to work on that, but without compromising on the returns, because our main philosophy is that we should be able to generate alpha for the investors.
Next question is from Johnson. Congratulations on the work well done. Many have benefited from your initiatives. When are you going public?
So time will tell us if our aspirations are quite big, and I can tell you that you are in the right hands of a firm that I was talking to some media players the other day, and they said, what is the difference? I said, a lot of companies which have created big revolution in India have copied their business model from larger companies in developed markets, right? You have a Ola coming on the back of an Uber. You have a Flipkart coming on the back of Amazon. You have a lot of such initiatives which are, which are global phenomena which were not there in the country. I personally believe Markets Mojo is an organization which has created a business model, an opportunity which has gone live for almost a decade in India, and now we are taking it global, which is the reverse integration that we're doing. I really take pride in saying this, and I always keep talking about is that we are probably one of the very few or the only firm which has created something made in India, and we are taking it live across the globe. It is the absolute reverse integration that we've done from a company that was made in India, created something great in India, and now it is trying to disrupt global business models. So it is the other way around, right? So I'm very, very bullish that this is something very big that we are sitting on. And when, when we go public is a matter of how fast we can take our growth now from these levels onwards. But I can tell you that it is on the vision board. We would want to reward our shareholders. We would want to reward our investors for their trust in us, and it is only a matter of time, sir.
Next question is from Om Prakash. A big thank you to the entire Mojo team for handholding the retail investors like us. I have subscribed till 2035 at age of 70. Please advise if I should renew further. Thank you once again.
Sir, 2035, if you have subscribed for, I don't think so you should renew. You have another 11 years till the time you turn 70. Maybe one more, one more pack you can take it to 75 years, because I'm telling you this because this is a time where you're getting for the price of 1-2 years extra. So, you're getting 3 years in the price of one, and I think you can do it for one more time, but not beyond that, because I think 10-15 years is a good period to remain there. You also know that if there is anything that happens, we have a Markets Mojo subscription insurance plan. I don't know if you guys typically know that internally that we've created, that you can pass on this membership to any of your family members as well, if there is anything that happens because of our age factor out there. And we will honor that, passing of the membership. If you want to pass it on to your kids, you can pass it on. If you want to pass it on to your spouse, you can pass it on. So wealth creation is a journey that goes beyond our personal age, because creation of wealth is a generation journey. It is not in our lifetime. And that is the reason I always tell investors that long-term plans come into play, because you can pass it on, right? So you can appoint your nominee. You can today appoint your nominee on the site. There is your personal section where you can appoint your nominee, and you can basically say, if there is anything that happens to me, this person will get the membership, and we will typically honor that. We had at one point in time also put an added benefit, I don't recall, but let me just go back and check that if anything happens to our membership, we will extend it by another 5 years or something for their family members. But that benefit is there. We've always taken our investors very seriously. The reason for me to come and tell you that, only our anniversaries are the biggest celebrations, and this one is a very, very special anniversary celebration we are doing, because we've gone global after a lot of hard work, and hence nowhere you will get 24,999, which is a 1-year package, and get 2 years free. So it is a 3-year package, and you get 3 months of InfinHub free, which is valid only for a few hours. We'll not keep giving it out. In fact, we are going with a full launch of InfinHub next week, where obviously this free period will completely get over. So yes, sir, you can extend it one more time, but I think that is fair enough. Uske baad nahi kariyega. That is good enough.
Next question is from Abhay. Hello Mohit sir, why don't you give loyalty bonus discount to existing subscribers for extension of their subscription?
Sir, 85% तो मैंने discount दे दिया अभी. उससे ज़्यादा discount दूंगा तो I have to pay you then. So we have always done that, Abhay ji. We have always done that. We have. Let me tell you something. We have, and I'm going to be very open with you, we have L0, L1, L2. These are the three level of offers we do in our anniversary. L0 is only for our paid members and for our loyal members, right? So what you're seeing here is L0 ka 0, which is in the L0 offer also we didn't have 3 months of Infinite free. L1 is for our normal members, L2 is for our new members or unpaid members, so likewise. So we've always done that, as you're saying that if you can try login and as a new member and you will see that none of these discounts will be applicable out there. It's only for our existing loyal customers. In question of what discount can it be, अगर आप अपना product बनाएंगे और 85% देंगे तो someday I'll also say that इससे थोड़ा और कर दीजिए, because वो टाटा स्काई का ऐड आता है पूछने में क्या जाता है, right? So थोड़ा थोड़ा और करके तो ये free हो जाएगा sir. But I can tell you that this is a very, very, very low price. Effectively 7,000 rupees a year for for a service like Markets Mojo, which is an ever-growing service, is a no-brainer in my head personally.
Next question is from Nirav. Dear Moji, your journey is excellent. I'm a paid member till 2039. But what I feel now is your focus is shifted towards PMS rather than retail investors like us, which was the prime motto of Markets Mojo. Also, the website is also a bit complicated for users like me. Can you please give some focus on retail investors like us who cannot go for a huge ticket size of 50 lakhs?
Mr. Nirav, Mr. Niravji, I will tell you very frankly that your concern is completely invalid. In fact, मैं तो PMS का एक webinar भी नहीं करता हूँ. When have you seen me coming in front of PMS customers? I don't even do a single webinar with my PMS customers. If they come to office, I meet them. My singular focus is Markets Mojo and Infinite. Singular focus, because and IP, how to make the IP better, right?
आधे घंटे ज़्यादा टाइम नहीं देते PMS के लिए.
आधे घंटे से ज़्यादा का मैं टाइम नहीं देता हूँ on a weekly basis, right? My full focus is there. Now the thing is that जब हमने Mojo One launch किया था, which was last year, right? So investors came and told us, sir, बस करिए. अभी इतना choice हो गया हमारे पास कि समझ नहीं आ रहा है कि करेंगे क्या, right? So we went back and we said that okay, this is also a valid concern. People are saying अब करें क्या, इतना सब choice आ गया, तो इसको consolidate करके एक product बनाते हैं, so that people have the best of all worlds and all. So all these ideas that you're seeing on Markets Mojo is something that are my personal dreams for my retail investors. HNI को super HNI करना हमें आता है, लेकिन retail को HNI करना is the toughest task that this country has not been able to do. Today, if you talk about, I was at a dinner yesterday, Sunil, which was a anti-BJP group.
अच्छा, okay.
A completely anti-BJP group, and I was listening to their theories. So they were basically saying that was the poverty gap and this rich and poor gap in India is actually increasing very badly. Right? So this the retail versus the HNI versus the super HNI gap is only widening, and they had some very interesting data points.
But that's a global phenomenon.
That's a global phenomenon, which is also happening. So our dream of PMS for HNI servicing is a dream which will keep going strong, but I can tell you that I am fully dedicated on narrowing this gap of my retail investors and HNIs, and that's but वो क्या जो gap होता है ना वो 3 साल में पूरा नहीं होता, because you're talking about 5 lakh, 10 lakh, 20 lakh investing guys. उनको to take them to 2 crores, 3 crores, 4 crores is also a journey that you have to spend with us long term. What I have noticed a lot of time is that people come and dip their feet and go out. Dip their feet and go out. आप 10 लाख पे आते हैं, आपको 1 लाख का नुकसान होता है, बोलते अरे यार पैसा दूँ. ऐसे तो कभी बनने वाला ही नहीं है. So for retail journey to become successful, the retail has to be equally committed to the journey, not just the service provider. And I keep telling my investors repeatedly, I know that you guys have heard us repeatedly, and I keep telling you, be patient, stay in the game. हवन में अगर आप नहीं होंगे तो आपको आशीर्वाद नहीं मिलेगा. आशीर्वाद एंड में मिलता है जाके. आप कभी हवन में बैठे हैं, हवन में वो पंडित जी लास्ट में जाके प्रसाद और आशीर्वाद देते हैं और अपनी फीस लेते हैं. So that is that somebody told me this analogy.
Okay.
That हवन में नहीं बैठेंगे तो आपको एक तो ताप भी नहीं मिलेगा, गर्मी भी नहीं है. हवन में बैठना is the most difficult thing. पूरा इधर से पसीना, इधर रुमाल लेके इधर, लेकिन वो प्रसाद लास्ट में क्यों देता है पंडित जी? पहले क्यों नहीं दे देता है कि पहले आपका हो गया पूरा क्रिश्निंग सेरेमनी, अब हवन is matter of fact. The हवन exercise is for you to sit there in a vajrasan, in that asan that is very difficult, sit there for 1 hour and then finally sit there in front of the heat, and then that is how investing is. You have to be patient, you have to stay invested for a long period of time. I can tell you that a lot of investors who take our packages, they don't come in. Sometimes they don't log in only, right? And we keep telling them that please follow our advice, right? They will do their own things, they will not log in, they will suddenly forget their journey. पहले हमारे पास कोविड में टाइम होता था, हम इन्वेस्टिंग करते थे, अभी टाइम नहीं है. Wealth as a generation is created out of investing, it is not created out of earnings. The day you understand this, कि आप पूरी जिंदगी कमाते रहिए, उससे generation change नहीं होगी. That investing that you're doing on that saving will change the generation gap, right? And that is the place where Markets Mojo comes in, and that's where I'm saying that मेरे को अपने focus से ज़्यादा आपके focus पे problem है. मैं तो completely focused हूँ. As I told you that my interaction with Sunil and his team is only on client performance as far as PMS is concerned. You can ask him. I am very IP driven.
आधे घंटे से ज़्यादा कुछ टाइम मिलता नहीं है PMS को मांगना पड़ता है मोहित को, मोहित is more focused on Markets Mojo, InfinHub and other things.
Yeah, I am committed to my retail. रिटेल का पैसा बनेगा, एचएनआई का पैसा तो बनेगा ही ना, ऐसा कुछ तो है नहीं कि वो नहीं बनेगा, लेकिन वी आर नॉट गोइंग टुवर्ड्स, हमारा वो फोकस नहीं है टू गो टुवर्ड्स लार्जर बुक एंड ऑल. अगर वो होता तो आई वुड नॉट क्रिएट द एएमसी बिजनेस ना. माय एस्पिरेशन, बिगर एस्पिरेशन ऑफ क्रिएटिंग एएमसी इज व्हाई, इज बिकॉज द इनोवेटिव थिंग्स दैट वी आर ट्राइंग टू डू, वो 5,000 वाला इन्वेस्टर भी खरीदेगा उसको, 50 lakhs वाला भी नहीं. सो आई थिंक नीरव जी, मे बी आई डोंट नो, शर्ट आज अलग है लेकिन आदमी वही हूँ मैं.
Next question is from Ritesh. Mohit sir, good evening. How true is that Markets Mojo is planning to raise funds from market?
For our international InfinHub operation, that is true. We are planning to raise funds. We also need net worth for our AMC. There is a 100 crore net worth requirement. And we are an extremely profit-making firm. But if we have to get our licenses in place, we have to put in 100 crores to the regulators. And for that purpose, yes, you are absolutely right. We are in the market to try and see how we can raise some funds.
Next question is from Rajiv Kapoor. If I tell you my investment say 10 lakhs, would Mojo make portfolio or should I pick one?
No, I didn't get it.
No, we can make it one. So you can go to model portfolio section, put the amount as a 10 lakhs, you select the risk profile, whether it's an aggressive, moderate or conservative, and we will make the complete portfolio for you. You need to just follow that portfolio in a very disciplined manner. Whenever we advise you to exit, please exit. Against exit, we'll again advise you which company you need to buy. Again you do, and the cycle continues. So if you have 10 lakhs, go to model portfolio section and you can create based on your risk profile.
Next question is from Mangesh. Looking forward to international PMS. Any ETA? By the way, I gave this idea to Sunil in one-on-one call, but I'm sure you would have this in your bucket list.
मंगेश जी, मैं बताऊँ कि आइडिया का हम क्रेडिट लेते ही नहीं कभी भी, बिकॉज हमारे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में जो आइडिया का क्रेडिट लेता है उसके ऊपर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी आ जाता है फिर. So we are always ready to give credit to. So if you've given us the idea, I am thankful to you, sir. हमें कोई प्रॉब्लम होगा हम आपको फोन करेंगे. बट जो आदमी ने रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी लिया वो हैज टू बी रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर दैट प्रोडक्ट.
No, Mangesh, he did give me an idea about this. Yeah, he did give me this idea. So thanks a lot, sir. And
but that Markets Mojo, from we are very clear that our whole site has been created by ideas of our investors. See, this score idea came from the investors. Model portfolio ideas came from the investor. Portfolio पे score होना चाहिए. You guys pushed us against the wall कि तो आप stock पे score लाते हो तो portfolio पे score क्यों नहीं है? That was an idea that was given by the investors. Infinity idea was given by the investors. International idea, I can tell you, was spoken about by the investors to us, and then we took it out from there. So, and that is the success of Markets Mojo, because आप idea दोगे हम उसको implement करते हैं. That is how we do it, right? So it is very clearly that most of the ideas in Markets Mojo actually has come from the investors.
Next question is from Prasad. Is the same stock analysis different in Mojo Pro and Mojo 1?
No, the stock analysis is the same, sir. In Mojo Pro, the difference is that in Mojo 1, the difference is that there are 3 more products that go in, which is the turnaround stocks, which is the first time that Markets Mojo is forward looking and picking up companies that may not be doing good today and that have chances of doing turning around and doing way better moving forward. So it is a high risk, high return kind of strategy which comes into Mojo 1. Similarly, Momentum Now, which looks at stocks that are in momentum in any market cycle, whether it is a downward market cycle, flat, upward market cycle, it tries to catch stocks that are of the highest momentum in that particular market cycle. And third is Reliable Performers, which is typically the stocks which are decent quality stocks, but they're doing very well today in terms of fundamental. So these 3 new ideas get joined in Mojo 1. Stock analysis is the same for Mojo 1 and Mojo Pro, sir.
Next question is from Alan. Dear Mohit, Sunil, passing thought. Diwali portfolio doing very well hardly 8 months ago and it's up by 55% already. What happens when we complete a year? Do we sell and book profit or go in for a new Diwali portfolio? Your thoughts, please.
Sir, we will continue with this Diwali portfolio. Why will we buy a new portfolio? Because नया दिवाली पे नए कपड़े क्यों लेंगे अपन? If the portfolio is doing well, we will keep restructuring this portfolio. And I know that I had launched the Diwali portfolio, and we had been, servicing that portfolio on a weekly basis with you. We come on a every week basis and discuss if there are any changes to the portfolio. Portfolio is doing well. We may create what is the right new clients coming in on Diwali. Should they be buying certain stocks with the same valuation or not? वो अपन करेंगे, but we will not change the theme of the Diwali portfolio, sir.
Deepak, I want to join but I need further discount. Please, I'm a student.
Sir, I can't do that. Further discount, as I said, Deepak ji, अगर 85% से ऊपर कोई discount देता है तो फिर वो then I'll have to pay you. As I said, that we can't do. We can't do. This is 1 साल के पैकेज पे 2 years free, 85% off. 3 years of 3 months of Markets Mojo Infina free. Sir, sorry.
In the interest of time, can we have last 2 questions?
Next question is from Purna. Can we have a graph of Mojo score of individual stocks so that we'll have an idea of movements of Mojo score with stock price?
There is a graph of the financial trend and 5-year financial trend and the price increase that is there on every stock, which is there on every stock page. So I think that gives a lot of inclination. I use that, Poonaji, a lot, that particular graph. I think refer to that one. That gives a good indication.
Next question is from Arun Bhatia. Does mutual fund sale purchase work for NRIs too?
Yes, sir. It works for NRI as well. You can start using the platform. It works for NRI as well. With that note, thank you so much for, we've spent almost 2 hours with you. Your offers may get over now. So make sure if you have not subscribed after this call, at least you subscribe. And thank you so much for this lovely journey that we've had. This is not to the last 10 years. This is for the next 10 years that we'll be here servicing you with the same intensity. We, as Markets Mojo's DNA is our DNA. That's the reason it doesn't change. That we believe in true honesty and trust to our customers and creating things which we believe will value add to our customer returns fearlessly. Should we be liked or disliked is not our concern, but we'll keep doing that moving forward. Thank you so much for all your trust and for all your years of partnership with Markets Mojo. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, everyone, taking time out.